Hey everyone and welcome to the Learning Ladder. Today I thought I'd share with you our 7th grade schedule, or what I think is going to be our schedule, because we've got to obviously try it first. There are two versions, but I'm going to explain the difference between the two. It's pretty much the same, but there's just one fundamental thing that I might change once we've started, once we've seen how it pans out and works and everything. So on a Monday through Friday, we do our morning cart. So we have some foundational books that will stay in the morning cart throughout the year, and then a few that are seasonal. So what we're currently going to start off the year with is the Animal a Day, so where you read facts about the animals. I've shown you all the books in a previous haul, which I'll link below. But basically it's the DK Animal a Day book. We're also going to do the history event a day. So you obviously read what happens in history that day. And then it also tells you, which is kind of interesting, who was born on that day and who died. They call it arrivals and departures, and there's a little symbol of an egg for arrivals and then a skull for departures. It's kind of morbid, but anyway, it's interesting book. We're going to alternate our poetry books. I've got 100 poems for kids, and then I've also got for this next couple months an Edgar Allan Poe book, because we read the Incredible series in 6th grade, the whole series, and the governess often mentions Edgar Allan Poe and it features in the book quite strongly, so I thought I'd like to read some more of his poetry in our morning basket. So we've got that one. We have a mystery book, so we've got a few different ones, and it's this particular one that we're going to start off with is just general mysteries from all around the world. I've looked through it and it looks really fascinating. It's broken up into categories. Again, I've linked it in our morning basket cart. And then I've also got a couple of those that are seasonal for the mysteries, so we'll switch those out. We've got a Halloweenish one, so we'll switch that out in October. We also have our vocabulary cards that we do in our morning basket. And we have our read aloud, and the first read aloud we're doing for the year is mythical myths and legends from the Storyland book, which is actually really good. I've been looking through it, and it's really interesting stories and things. Although sometimes with those types of books you think, was it a story? What did it actually happen? It's one of those ones. We also have a word of a day book, and then I can't think, I'm sure there's another one I'm forgetting. But that's what we started out, that's what we're going to start out with our morning basket for September. And then I've also got a couple of different little card games, so we'll play one of those in the morning cart session, or we'll do a discovery deck. So I bought the bugs, birds, mythical creatures and animals from discovery decks from the Warlock Way, so we'll do one of those or two of those in our morning cart. So that's kind of what our morning cart looks like to begin the year. Then we move on to language arts. So again, we do language arts, we do it Monday through Thursday, and what I've put into my planning for the language arts for the first week is we're going to be doing the grammar from the Well Trained Mind. I wanted to see how we liked it versus Fix It Grammar, so we're going to start off with the Well Trained Mind grammar. We're also doing our learning language arts through literature. We're doing All About Spelling and her cursive IEW book. Okay, then after language arts, for the Monday through Wednesday we do our history. I'm going to be sharing what we're doing for history and geography in an upcoming video. So Monday through Wednesday history, and then Thursday and Friday we're doing our geography. So with geography it's a curriculum, but we also count our snack box surprise, which is very similar to Universal Yums, although the portions you actually get are much bigger, so full-size portions, and more of them, which is really good, and it's still cheaper for us at least. So we love that. Don't get me wrong, we loved Universal Yums, but this is just far more what we want because it gives us so much more. You know, older kids, they like to eat more than when, she was 4 or 5. So we're loving it, and I have a printable sheet that we do when we do our snack box surprise, but that's only once a month. So the majority of the time we're doing our geography curriculum, which again I'll show you what we're doing in a bit more in detail for history and geography in an upcoming video. Then Monday through Thursday we do our Saxon maths, so she does her Saxon math lesson during that time, and then on a Monday and Tuesday we do our elemental science, and then on a Wednesday and Thursday we do our guest hollows, human body and anatomy course. Then on every day I've got one of our electives. So we've got art on Monday, we've got IT Tuesday, illustration Wednesday, and sewing on Thursday. Then on Friday we still do our morning cart. Then I've got our unit study here, which can be either seasonal, so we have different things that we might do throughout the year that are seasonal, but we also have my Scottish unit study that we're going to be doing. We do our geography lesson for the second day, we do our Harry Potter unit study, we've got baking, and then just some watercolour. We have these watercolour books from, I can't remember her name, but basically it's in the forest, in the ocean, the jungle. It's like different themed ones, which are really good. So that's basically how we're going to start off the first week. However, I am thinking whether or not I want to do not so much art, but our other 3 electives on a Friday instead. So what we'll end up doing is we might not do morning art on a Friday if we're going to do this. So we might switch it up, and I'm not decided on order, but say for example we might do IT first, then we'll do our illustration, sewing, then we'll do our Harry Potter unit study, baking, and then art and watercolor. So geography will either make this lesson longer, or we'll do it on one of these days, our second lesson of geography, and unit study we'll do on one of these other days. That's what I'm thinking, just because I feel like by the end of the day, you've done all your other work and everything else, and it's like, oh, we've got to do more stuff, and I don't want our electives to be, to feel like that. I'm not saying that she will feel like that because we haven't even started yet, but if she does, I'm behind on videos, so by the time you watch this, I'm sure we have started. But when I'm filming this, it's before we go back to school. But my point is that I don't want electives to feel like, oh, it's another thing, because they'll always be after we come back from lunch. So I'm wondering whether or not to put them onto a Friday, and then I don't know, it'll just feel like we can spend more time on them, and we've not got that, the end of the day scenario going around in our heads, that it's the end of the day, we just want to get everything finished and stuff. So I'm thinking I might move them, but I'm going to try it for the first week as it is with them at the end of the day. But ultimately, I think I want to move them to the Friday. I think that's what I'm going to actually end up doing. But I want to try it as it is, because they always say it's like in exams, don't necessarily change your answer until you've tried it. Sometimes the first answer is the right answer. So I'm going to leave it as it is for now. And in the past, we've always done our electives at the end of the day, and it's been fine. But our curriculum is more beefy now. So I think I might want to move them over. After the first week, we'll be including our IEW. So we're not doing IEW for the first week. It's only a 26, I think it is, week curriculum. So I thought for the first week we'll skip it, but I am going to spread it out so it's over 30 weeks. So I thought it'd give us just a time to get into everything, because certain things are new. So for example, the well-trained man grammar is new. We've not tried that before. Our history and our geography program is completely new this year. So we have done elemental science in the past, but not for a long time. And I just want to, get us back into the new stuff before we add IW as well, particularly because the videos are really long. So I want to see how our day pans out and where best to fit it in. So I don't think I'm going to put it into the language arts block once we actually do IEW. I think it's going to have its own section. So because otherwise I feel like language arts would just be super long if we didn't do that. So it might be that, for example, on one of these days in the afternoon, and this is why I'm thinking about moving our electives to Friday, we might do half of the video one day, half of the video the next day, and then if she starts working on her keyword outline the following day. What we did previously when we did IEW is we didn't always do everything in our lesson. Sometimes she'd do it in free time, or I guess homework if you like, but she didn't see it that way. She just saw it as, oh, I'll do my story later, not during school time, which, because she likes writing, it wasn't like it's a homework thing. She enjoyed it, so that was probably what we'll end up doing. So she might watch the video as part of the school day and maybe do the keyword outline as part of the school day, but then write her story herself in the afternoon, and then obviously all that week, a bit every day or whatever, depending on how long it is, and then she'll hand it in at the end of the week. So that's what we might do with IEW. I just don't think I'm going to put it as part of language arts, because I think that's just going to make language arts super long, but we'll see. So that's my idea. We're going to go through the first week and see what we think. But as I said, I've got a strong suspicion that I'm going to move our electives, because I don't want them to feel like, it's the end of the day, we're tired, we've done everything else, and I want them to be fun and enjoyable. So that's why I'm thinking of moving them over to Friday and just rejigging it all. But we'll give it a go for the first week, and I'll update you in one of my homeschool updates as to whether we needed to change anything or whether we were happy with everything. Also with timings and stuff, because like I said, history curriculum and geography curriculum are both completely new this year. We've never used them before. So I don't know how long they're going to take until we actually get around to it, doing the lesson, because obviously you can have it in your mind how long you think things are going to take. But if my daughter's interested in something, I'm not going to say, we can't watch that video because, we've only allocated this amount of time for history and geography. So I want to make sure that all my timings and everything are working out well, so that it's not 6 o'clock and we haven't finished school. If you know what I mean. I don't think it's going to be like that anyway, not even remotely, but I just want to see how long everything takes with the new stuff, and then I can rejig and make sure everything is how I want it to be. But yeah, that's what we're thinking of for 7th grade. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.